Hey, what is going on, everybody? Desir here with my round 2 video. Now, I wasn't sure if I wanted to get this out because I was still pretty sick at this time. Some of my attacks didn't look good, and I played somewhat sloppy in some of the areas. However, there was some interesting matchups, so I figured I'd still get this out for you guys. My opponent today is Adam, and they are at 56 million TCP. He has some pretty interesting defenses, so let's go ahead and look at that next. So to start, he has a Secret Defenders with Super Skrull in 1, Darkhold in 2, Infinity Watch in 3, Out of Time with Red Hulk and Rogue in 4, a Black Order Quicksilver in 5, and Extreme X-Men in 6. For the first matchup, I wanted to go against the Secret Defenders with Super Skrull. I was going to use my Masters of Evil with Dr. Doom. I did take out Moonstone for this. The reason for that is Ultron is able to do a turn rewind, and I thought that would be more valuable. And the goal here is to get Doom pushed and get King on the ride. So for the start of the match, the Super Skrull is going to go first and use his special on Absorbing Man. That did end up getting my Doom pushed, so I was pretty happy there. Kang is going to use his special on Black Cat to try to get the slow on Ms. Marvel Harlot, which she did end up resisting. Right here is where I actually messed up. The positioning was wrong, and the Super Skrull flipped the buffs to debuffs on my Kang, so I should have actually had him where Titania was at. I am going to have Titania use her ultimate to put the ability block on Ms. Marvel Harlot, so she can't do her ultimate to get the taunt and turn rewind. Doom is going to use his ultimate. You see that Titania went for the ride. That's because of my positioning was off for this matchup. I'm still going to try and see what happens with this. So I put the vulnerable on Black Cat and Robbie. And for Titania, I'm going to use her special on Robbie. I figure I can at least try to take Robbie out and maybe come in with a cleanup to see if I could do better. So I used the special with Titania. I'm going to use the basic from Titania. And now he's dropped in stealth, so I'm going to use Titania's ultimate on Photon. That way she can't use her ultimate on me. And right here you see everything is starting to go down. Super Skrull used its ultimate, so I'm just trying to burn a few abilities. For the cleanup, I just wanted to bring new warriors in, see if they can kind of do anything, and if they could, great. If not, then I was just going to back out. So when I load in, they are going to burn a few abilities. So there's Super Skrull's special, Hardlight's ultimate, so she now has her Tauntaun. Photon special goes off. So this part here actually kind of cost me the Crucible. I got the buff flips. Robbie's now going to use his ultimate, and I can't back out in time, so I actually lost my new warriors. For the Darkhold matchup, I was going to use Tangled Web with Kestrel, Iron Man Infinity War, and Falcon. I'm starting to really like this team going against anything that is Darkhold. For the start of the match, I'm going to use 2099's ultimate on Agatha. I just like getting that death proof on everybody. I'm going to use Weaver's ultimate on Wong to get the stun and trauma on him. For Kestrel, I'm going to use the special on Morgan Le Fay. I wanted to get the defense down on Dorm, that way I can get him out as soon as possible. And for Falcon, I'm just going to use this special. I want to get that turn meter so I can start lapping the opponent. And for Iron Man Infinity War, I'm just going to use the special. I'm going to hit a few people with defense down so I can get some pings and get the ability block on Morgan. So here I see the ability block didn't land, so I'm just going to use the special from 2099 so I can try to get the ability block on and hit somebody with defense down. So here I could have used the basic, but I decided to go for the special. I wanted to see if I can actually kill Agatha and Morgan with those perma-kills, and it actually paid off for me. So here I'm just going to use the ultimate from Kestrel. Wong is now dead, so it's easy cleanup. For the Infinity Watch matchup, I'm going to use Venom with Red Goblin, Spider-Man Big Time, Mysterio, and Vulture. This is a pretty interesting mix. I kind of like it going against the Infinity Watch because they are such efficiency sinks. The Mysterio is going to make it to where they don't get immunity. Venom is going to be able to throw some ability blocks. Big Time is going to be able to remove 2 of the Revive Once mechanic. And 4 of these characters, when attacked, are also going to remove Revive Once. So Vulture's going to start this. He's going to use his special on Gamora. I just wanted to pick 3 targets to get slow out there. Spider-Man Big Time, you want to target Nebula and use the special. That's going to remove the Revive Once from Nebula and Gamora. On Mysterio's turn, I'm going to use the special. That's going to put blind on everybody. Venom is going to use his ultimate. Basically just pick somebody next to 2 targets so you can spread those debuffs. So right here, I'm just going to target Moondragon. She's my #1 target to kill. That way she doesn't remove any of my buffs. For Vulture's turn, I'm going to use the ultimate. I'm going to get that turn meter rewind out there. And here I'm going to use the basic to get defense down, which I actually end up killing Moondragon, so she's dead. I'm going to use Venom's special on Philo, and that actually killed her. So right now it's really easy cleanup between Gamora and Adam Warlock. This was one of the interesting matchups that I had. It's Out of Time against Red Hulk and Rogue. I'm going to use Apocalypse with Super Skrull, Gwenom, Void Knight, and Carnage. To start the match off, I'm going to actually start with the basic instead of the special. I'm going to try to flip some of those buffs on the other side of the field. Here I'm going to use Void Knight's ultimate, try to get the flips, which does end up happening, so I'm pretty happy about that. The Red Hulk's going to do the turn meter rewind. And Rogue is using the special on my Apocalypse. Here I'm just going to use Gwenom's special. And I'm going to do a nice turn meter rewind on Rogue, and that also gets the exposed out there. I'm going to use the ultimate from Carnage. I'm just trying to knock somebody in red, that way we can start getting the turn meter bonuses. Black Knight's doing some pretty good damage on the other side of the field. Now I'm going to do the special from Apocalypse, try to rebalance some of that health out there. I got a kill from Red Hulk, so now I'm starting to get some energy going. Looking back at this matchup, I think I could have been just fine using Apocalypse with 4 Hive Mind members instead of using my Super Skrull here. In which case I could have used Super Skrull on that room 1 where I was having a lot of bad luck against that Super Skrull and Secret Defenders team. So initially I was going to use my Secret Defenders team here, but because I lost my new warriors, I had to make a few pivots for who I'm using where. So for this team, I'm using my Eternals, Omega Red, Shang-Chi, and Spider-Woman. So this is the first mistake I made in this match. Quicksilver has evade out there, so I should have targeted Call and used the basic so I could chain from one side of the field to the other. Instead I targeted Quicksilver, and I didn't really do anything. Icarus used his ult, I got a nice flip and some pretty good damage out there. On Cersei's turn, I'm going to use the ultimate. I'm going to flip those debuffs and get another turn meter rewind out there. And right here, Quicksilver's just going to take out my Shang-Chi, and he's going to do some pretty good damage to my Icarus. I am stuck behind the Cull Obsidian taunt, so I'm just going to use the special from Omega Red to get some speed up. So unfortunately on Omega Red's turn, I had offense down on him, so I went to use his ultimate. Most of those buff flips got resisted. I'd still got a turn meter rewind, but I didn't really do as much as I hoped on that turn. On Icarus's turn, I used his special. I did get the kill on Cull Obsidian. However, Scarlet Witch is now summoned because I knocked Quicksilver below his 50% health. Thanos did his ultimate, and right here I'm about to lose Omega Red. He is stunned, he has too many debuffs on him, so he's pretty much out of the battle. So right now I'm just thinking about cleanup. I'm going to take Thanos out, and hopefully I can come in with the War Dogs to finish this team off. So for the cleanup, I am going to go in with my War Dogs. This should be a pretty easy cleanup for them. Most of the Black Order is already in the yellow or red portion where they're under 50% health. The main thing's going to be Quicksilver. I need to take him out. So on spawn, Ebony Ma is going to put the ability block on Nakia and Okoye. So I was going to use the basic anyways, try to remove some of the buffs. For Black Panther 1 million BC, I did target Ebony Ma. That's because he had the most buffs I could steal and disperse to the team. Now I'm going to try to take Quicksilver out before he gets going. So right there, the Quicksilver is dead, so it's very easy cleanup as you see after that. For the X-Treme X-Men, I was going to test out the Secret Defenders with Nova. I was hoping that this team I'd be able to take out a Gambit or a Nightcrawler, do something that way if I do need to clean up, it wouldn't be as difficult. So I was trying to decide who I was going to do the ultimate on for Ms. Marvel Harlight to get the turn rewind. I decided to go for Gambit, Nightcrawler, and Sunspot. This is another mistake that I made. I used Nova's special on Nightcrawler right here. The move is not unavoidable, and the three of them did have evades, so I did nothing on that turn. And here, I'm going to use the special for Robbie to get an ability block on Nightcrawler and to flip some of the buffs and get some bleeds on them. So looking back, this is pretty much what cost me the match. I used Black Cat's special on Forge. Him and Cyclops had evades on him. Gambit and Nightcrawler already had a bunch of debuffs on them. I could have stunned Gambit and done a rebound between Gambit, Nightcrawler, maybe Sunspot. I could have done a lot of damage to them, so when Photon's passive went off and Robbie's passive went off, I might have been able to kill them, and those are permakills so I didn't have to worry about Forge. So that pretty much cost me this match. So my opponent did drop two matches. They finished with a 49,358. I finished with a 33,044. I'm sorry I wasn't feeling well. I did make a lot of mistakes as you guys saw in this video, but hopefully you guys learned something. Let's go ahead and look at the scores. So for stage 1, that's where I did the mess up, and then I couldn't back out in time with the New Warriors, so I didn't get a clear on that one. Stage 2, I got a 14 and an 18. Stage 3, I got a 20 and a 13. Stage 4, I got a 20 and a 15. Stage 5, I did drop one and I got the 20 and a 14. And stage 6, I didn't get the clear on that one. For my opponent against my X-Treme with Dorm, they used Hive Mind with Vulture, so that's a pretty good combo. They got a 8 and 11 for the efficiency though. For stage 2, they used Masters of Evil into my 4 Horsemen with Quicksilver. They got a 20 and a 21 on the efficiency. Stage 3, they used Apocalypse with the Superior 6 into my Superior 6. They got a 20 and a 21, and that's a good use of an Apocalypse if you can spare them there. Stage 4, they did drop an attack here. They used New Warriors initially, then followed up with Tangled Web, Nova, Venom, and Fury. Stage 5, they got a 20 and a 14. Pegasus into Infinity Watch. I thought this was pretty interesting as well. And on stage 6, they went in with Eternals, Doom, Omega Red, and Loki. It looks like they failed and then went back in with a Vol. I'm guessing the Valkyrie passive went off, so that's why they backed out and went back in. So at this point, I am 0-2. I already did record my round 3 matches. I have those edited down. I just need to do some extra work on it. I'll have those ones up and ready for you guys to watch tomorrow. On Saturday, I'll get my weekly breakdown out for you guys as well. I have a few matches that's pretty interesting, so we'll break those down together. Remember to like and subscribe. Have a wonderful rest of the day.